Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 10:25 a.m. on Monday, May 28, 2021. Welcome to another episode of VLOGTRON, the Voltron blog. This is Lion Force Season 2, Episode uh, 14, To Soothe the Savage Robeast. All right. The first thing that I'll say about this episode is it's kind of surprising just how little of of the Voltron force actually appears in this episode. Um, there's uh, there's a woman on planet Eris who's blonde and sounds basically exactly like Alora because BJ Ward is voicing her. She plays the harp. She recalls the invasion of Eris by the forces of Doom, and her boyfriend, his name is Roe, was captured and taken to be a slave to work in the quarry. Roe is sent back to Eris by Queen Merla, who and Hagar basically I guess he's mind controlled, but he basically has um, the woman. I'm trying to find her name now. I don't even remember if. Oh, Taryn. Her name is Taryn. Taryn. He has her deliver a poisonous drink to the Castle of Lions as a present for Keith. Basically, Merla, Merla and Hagar pose as Rose rescuers. And Hagar is actually in disguise. She's in what looks to be her human disguise that we saw at the end of the Voltron Fleet of Doom special. So I guess this episode is meant to occur after it. Actually, yeah. Anyway, so they ask Taryn to deliver this poison. They don't say it's poison, obviously, but the drink to Keith for his birthday because it's Keith's birthday. Marla is pretending that she's a secret admirer of Keith, but she's too shy to deliver it herself. So Taryn gets in her wagon and she takes off toward the castle. Roe is in distress, and it seems you can't tell if they made him stay quiet or if Merla is using his mind control on him to keep him from saying anything. But anyway, something about this episode I noticed is that, well, with a lot of these episodes, the animation's pretty bad, but whenever Taryn is riding in her wagon in this episode, which is a lot, the wheels don't really move when the wagon's moving. I mean, I think there's like some kind of motion animation around the wheels, but like the I don't know, what do you call those? That inner part of the wheel that's not spinning at all during any of the driving scenes, and it's really distracting. Um, so anyway, she goes to the Castle of Lions. She passes the poisonous drink to Alora. Alora seems kind of upset that it is coming from a secret admirer of Keith. In Alora's inner monologue, she thinks of Keith as just a friend, but she's wondering if she's actually jealous. Um, Meanwhile, Keith, I forgot to mention, during an early scene on Planet Doom, um, King Zarkon is basically forcing his son, Prince Lotor, to marry Queen Merla as a way of like merging their empires. Merla, Lotor thinks this is a bad idea. Merla believes that eventually, once she captures Planet Eris and conquers it, and she gets the lions, she's going to come back and assassinate King Zarkon and basically just take over the whole empire. That's her idea. Um, so anyway, Keith is on a rock face and he's like climbing and he's picking some flowers because apparently that's the only place on Eris that has flowers that meet his expectations. Turns out later on it'll be for Alora, and he gives them to her. And she thinks he's swell, but anyway, on his way back, I guess to the castle, he comes by a house, and he's suspicious because and I'm quoting here. He's like, "That door is ajar." But anyway, Lotor is in the house. He comes out and he warns Keith that that poison has been delivered to Castle of Lions. He doesn't care about Keith at all, and he readily admits that, but he cares about Alora. He doesn't want her to be poisoned. So he tells Keith to get on his horse and ride to the castle, and hurry up and warn them. And also to tell Alora that he was the one that told Keith about it. Yeah, I'm sure Keith's going to do that. Uh, but anyway, I should note, and this was weird, but during the birthday celebration at the castle, which really just there's just some drinks and food on the table. It doesn't look like much of a birthday party, but Sven is there. Yeah, I thought, wait, what? But oh, it's not Sven. It is. He doesn't talk at all during the entire episode. He does absolutely nothing except stand at the table. Yeah, I guess he just decided to show up for the party. Um, oh, here's a note about a goof in this episode. Okay, Ro, as I mentioned, he was put to work mining rocks or something on Planet Doom, but he was taken when Planet Eris was invaded. But here's the thing: at the end of the first season, Planet Doom was invaded by the Galaxy Alliance. Um, remember, but he wasn't freed, I guess. So there's a note here that says he must have been off the planet at the time, so he was still kept enslaved. Um, oh, oh, they took the lion launch sequence from A Ghost and Four Keys. Which episode was that? Episode 3. Okay, I noticed something was up with that. First of all, that there was such a lengthy launch sequence in this episode. I'm guessing they didn't have enough original animation, like they didn't, they had to pad out because I guess the story ran short. They do like not a completely full 100% full launch sequence, but they do show the individual lions in their usual resting places, which we haven't seen in a while. And we see the lions, coming out and coming together and everything. We haven't seen that in a long time. And also, apparently, it says here Keith enters green line instead of black line because of the recycled footage. Um, Also, I noticed when it shows the individual like little pods taking off in the tunnels, there's like an overhead shot, and only four of them move out. There's there's like a tunnel entrance for a fifth one, but there's no pilots and no pod sitting there. I noticed that. I noticed that right away. And I was wondering, why are they showing so much of this? They've usually been just cutting it down recently. But I'm guessing, I don't know, it looks like the script, maybe the script ran short, or like they thought they had enough story and then it turned out that they didn't, so they just reused a bunch of old animation. I don't know. We also see Nanny. We haven't seen Nanny in quite a while. She delivers like one line when she serves drink at the birthday celebration. Also, Pidge is about to drink it, but they're like, "Hey, let's wait for Keith." Um, when Keith arrives at the castle, Taryn's there, and or Taryn is sabotaged on the way to um, warn everyone. But when Keith passes by, she lets him know, and he already knows it's poison from Lotor, obviously. But at the end of the episode, shows Taryn and Ro reunited in a brief scene at the end. But yeah, and obviously they form Voltron, the blazing sword, blah blah blah. But um, it seems they're kind of setting up a romance between Alora and Keith. But as far as I can tell, up to this point, Alora really hasn't had any kind of love life, and maybe I'm forgetting something, but I don't think she's really had any romantic interests. Maybe very early on in the series, but yeah, recently she's basically just been a pilot. Um, she hasn't even really done any royal princess duties or anything like that. And why they bother putting Nanny in this episode? I mean, in the original Beast King Go Line series, the character, I believe her name is Hess or Hiss, um, she was killed. They obviously removed her death from the Voltron version. But why bother keeping her around? Why she's basically been reduced to a cameo status, and not very often. So I don't know. um, yeah, but yeah, that's basically it. And oh, and Lotor meets with Merlin on a bridge, and Merlin calls off the marriage, and so that marriage lasts less than an episode. um, yeah, so that's basically it for this episode. Six more to go, and yeah. So it's 10:39 p.m. and that or a.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.